For 222, we got Rory MacDonald taking on Nieman Gracie right off the bat. I like Rory MacDonald here to win this fight just for the fact that he's the younger fighter with more experience. We've seen Rory MacDonald come off a tie with the one and only John Fitch, but before that, he lost to Gegard Mousasi, where he made his debut at 185 at middleweight and came up short. But before that, he holds two solid wins in the Bellator promotions over Paul Daly and Douglas Lima. But he's mostly known for his wars with Robbie Lawler. He holds a big win over a former UFC welterweight champ, Tyron Woodley. He also picked up a W over Damian Maia, who's kind of similar to Nieman Gracie, in my opinion. Nieman Gracie doesn't have that much experience. He only has a total of 9 fights, but he's coming off the biggest win in his career over Ed Ruth in a 4th-round submission. But, Rory MacDonald's never been submitted in his whole career. After 26 fights in total, he's never been submitted one time. It just shows that his submission defense is possibly one of the best in the Bellator promotion here. He has solid striking. He holds 7 TKO wins, 7 submissions, and 6 decision wins. So he mixes it up pretty much well. He throws a lot more variety of strikes compared to Nieman Gracie. He mixes it up with the elbows. He has big, high head kicks, nice leg kicks. And Nieman Gracie, he's pretty much known for his black belt in jiu-jitsu. So he wants to get this fight to the ground and possibly look for a submission. But like I said, Rory's never been submitted, and I don't see how Nieman Gracie's going to be able to submit him. I mean, he has ways to win this fight. Nieman Gracie pretty much off of takedowns and possibly could grind out a decision here. But, who knows how Rory's going to be able to perform. Also, with him, talking about retirement and all this after the John Fitch fight, he doesn't want to hurt people. So who knows how he is mentally going into this fight. That's going to play a big role also in this fight, because if he doesn't want to fight anymore, he might just lose this fight on purpose. Nieman Gracie, he might just give him the win so he doesn't have to fight anymore, and he could go back, and retire and talk about God or whatnot. So, but skill-wise, I think Red King is a lot better here, and he should pick up the W, but who knows, with him talking the way he's talking, I don't know how he's going to, perform. But skill-wise, like I said, I got to go Rory MacDonald just off of skills. So we go with the Red King, the Canadian, getting the job done here. As we move on to the co-main event, we got the American gangster Chael Sonnen taking on the Dragon Machida here. Machida's coming off a 3-fight win streak. TKO Vitor Belfort, he beat Eric Anders, and also holds a win on his debut over a former Bellator middleweight champ, Rafael Carvalho. Chael Sonnen, he's 42 years old. I mean, as you see his record, he's 30-16. So, he has a lot of miles on him. Chael Sonnen, he lost to Fedor, but he beat Quentin Rampage Jackson and Vanderlei Silva. I just think that Machida striking and him being very patient is going to play a big key in him being victorious here in this fight. He has solid takedown defense. He has good footwork, so he's not really going to be stationary for Chael to shoot in and get the big takedown. He's always going to be moving. So I don't see how Chael's going to possibly get this fight down on the ground. I don't see how he is. And if he does get it to the ground, I can see Machida getting right back up. Machida's only been really taken down by, Yoel Romero and Luke Rockhold. And Machida, he just throws in variety. He throws down the pipe, nasty up kicks. He throws push kicks, front kicks, and he chops down at the legs. So, yeah, man, I got to go with Machida picking up the W. I got to go with the Dragon getting the W over the American gangster Chael Sonnen. As we move on to the fight card, we got Dylan Dennis taking on Max Humphrey. right off the bat, I like Dennis here to get the fight. He's 1-0. He doesn't have that much experience. So does his opponent. He's 3-2. He has 5 fights in total, so he has more experience going into this fight. But I just think that Bellator is pretty much throwing Dennis a fight that he can easily win. Just like the Bellator usually does. Like how they throw Jack Swagger, just random guys. I see Dantas getting this fight down to the ground, picking up the submission victory. But Max Humphrey, he has 2 submission victories of his own and 1 TKO win. He's lost 2 times, 1 by TKO and 1 by submission. So if he lost by submission already, I'm pretty sure Dantas is going to get this fight down to the mat, control him until he gets the submission. So my pick is Dantas to win this fight here. As we move on to the fight card, the real fight that we all want to watch, the rematch between Darien the Wolf Caldwell taking on Horiguchi. Very tough fight here to break down. The first fight was amazing. In my opinion, Darien Caldwell was on his way to easy decision. You know what I mean? Took Horiguchi down pretty much the entire fight, controlled him, kept the fight at range, and pretty much got the better of Horiguchi the entire fight in the grappling department. We know that back in the past, the Pride organization where a lot of fights seemed a lot funny, where fights could be fixed. We've seen that in the past about the Pride tournament. And the man who owns Pride is the same guy who's owning the Rising promotion here. So who knows what's going on out there in Japan. But thank God this fight is here in the red, white, and blue, brother. The United States of America, we got Darien Caldwell picking up the W against Horiguchi. It can't be no funny business here going down in this fight. You know what I mean? He dominated him the first fight. He's going to dominate him the second fight. This is how I feel. I mean, Horiguchi, he got the submission victory. He's fighting in the UFC. He's possibly one of the best flyweights on the earth right now. I mean, he beat, solid guys in Rising. And, like I said, he's fought Mighty Mouse where he came up short. But I just think that Darien Caldwell, the longer fighter, the taller fighter, you know what I mean? 5'10" here to 5'4", the 74-inch reach to Horiguchi 66. I mean, this guy's really a flyweight. He's not a bantamweight. You know what I mean? And Horiguchi, he's been busy. He's staying active. He's picking up big wins in Japan. He's a huge star out in Japan. And, he beat Ian McCall, Manil Kate. He's been staying active. He's got wins in the UFC. He'll be making his debut here in Bellator. But I got to go with the Wolf picking up the W. So we move on to the fight card. We got Ricky Bandejas taking on Patrick Mix. Patrick Mix making his debut in the Bellator promotion here. But Ricky holds big wins over James Gallagher, who they're trying to make the next Conor McGregor, some bullcorn like that in Bellator. But yeah, man, Ricky, I got to go with Ricky here with the W just for the fact that I've seen him compete. He's the more known fighter. Yeah, like I said, he's coming off of a loss, though, to Juan Archuleta, who also competing on this card against Eduardo Dantas. But yeah, we got to go Ricky here, picking up the W. Most of his wins are tied at 4 apiece from TKOs and 4 decision victories. His opponent, Patrick Mix, on the other side, he mixes it up as well. He has 6 submission victories and 3 decision wins. Undefeated for a reason, but he's making his debut here in Bellator, so who knows how he's going to do with this pressure on him at the big show for the very, very first time. So with that being said, we got to go with Ricky picking up the W. More experience as well. Eduardo Dantas taking on Juan Archuleta. Very interesting fight here. Eduardo Dantas was a former Bellator champ at 135, where he picked up big wins over guys like Joe Warren, and he picked up wins over Marcos Cavallo, and a big win over Mike Richmond. So Eduardo Dantas, he has a little bit more experience going into this fight. He's a very patient striker, very technical, has solid leg kicks. Um, yeah, man. I mean, if he's able to use his leg kicks like he usually does, could pick up the W. But he's not. He doesn't really pressure his opponents. He's always looking to counter, and like I said, he's a very patient fighter. So sometimes, in the judges' eyes, they don't really like a fighter who's backpedaling and who's trying to not engage. They like the more busier fighter. I think Juan Archuleta here is going to be the more busier fighter, the guy who's coming to pressure Eduardo Dantas. Juan Archuleta has 10 TKO victories on his record and 11 decisions, so most of his wins are by decisions. He's coming off a big win over Ricky Bendejas, and he's on a big win streak here in the Bellator promotion. Eduardo Dantas, he hasn't been really that busy compared to Juan Archuleta. So with that being said, I gotta go with Juan Archuleta picking up the W here at featherweight in this 3-round bout. So yeah, those are pretty much my picks for Bellator 222 main card. Yeah, so until next time, I'll be back and catch you guys again. So I'll be, heading on out. Yes, sir.